应，凭什么报警？你唯一的就是保持冷静，跟你说，这不是我们警察造成，这个是整个国际形势造成的。我刚刚你们再这样闹下去，我们中国没希望了。我们没有要跟美国打仗了，你知道吧？你们还是这样子。我们没有闹。对啊，我们没希望，没办法的，我们也没办法的。现在只有共产党能救中国了。
What you see is you see a woman who doesn't want to be on this bus. She's being forcefully removed and taken elsewhere by the police. And the police say to her, you only have one choice, and that is to calm down. This whole disaster isn't caused by us. He's talking about like us, the police, right? This whole disaster isn't caused by us. This disaster is caused by the international geopolitical situation. So in other words, this disaster is caused by foreigners, not us. Says, if you keep fighting like this, our China loses hope. We are going to fight a war with the USA. Don't you know? Now, that's quite a claim to make. He says, we're going to fight a war. Now,
there's some context to this. It's more like we're in a war with America.
Yeah.
Right.
We're about to fight a war with America.
Yeah, but it's kind of like if we are weak from COVID, like if you don't band together and do this zero COVID thing, then America is going to come in.
NATO's going to come in because that's what they've been telling everyone with the Ukraine,
It's like an
Russian
ideology
thing.
war as well.
Yeah.
Right. That's what it's insinuating.
Okay. Right. You're still resisting. And the girl says, we don't want to make trouble or bring China down. They just don't want to be forcefully removed from their house. We'll bring that up. The police says, we police don't have any way to help you. It's not our responsibility. Only the CCP can save China now. Okay. So now that you've seen that clip, let's explain how this all came to pass. Right. I'm going to set the scene. April 14. So, what, yesterday, right? Okay?
Yeah.
In Shanghai, in a place called Zhangjiang Naxi International Community.
Nashi.
Naxi. I'm going to say Naxi.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're saying English.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Anyway, the fact of the matter is, this is a place, and it's a subsidized rental apartment complex. Now, how this works, at least this is what it's been reported at, because now people that are living there are disputing that, saying it's not a subsidized rental place, by the way. But this is what we're going to go on. It's a subsidized rental
It's
apartment
supposed to
complex.
be, at least.
Supposed to be, right? And what that means is you've got kind of like low-cost rent. And by low-cost rent, it's costs you about a third of what you'd normally pay to stay in Shanghai rental. I've got friends that do this in Shenzhen. They have the same thing going on. It's quite hard to qualify for this. There's a lot of paperwork involved. You need to be under very special circumstances, and you get to stay in these places. But that being said, it's just like renting an apartment, except it's subsidized, so you pay a little less.
Right.
Okay? So these people are, not cheerful. I think they're in probably day 27 of their lockdown in that particular place. And all of a sudden they get a notice from the Chinese government that at least in 3 of the buildings, you are going to be forcefully removed in 2 days because we want to put COVID patients in here and convert your apartment complex, your apartment building into a quarantine camp.
That's right.
Now, I want you for 1 second here to think about what you would do if you were sitting in an apartment. Okay, you're in the middle of lockdown. Okay, you've been renting this apartment for years. Okay, months, years, doesn't matter. You're sitting in your apartment. You've got all your worldly possessions in there. You're there with your family. And all of a sudden, the government comes and tells you, 2 days from now, we're going to come and take you out of your apartment. Right now, by the way, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Everyone's locked down. You've been locked down for the last 27 days.
Yeah.
You cannot get a moving company. You can't pay someone to come help move your furniture. We're going to come put you on a bus and move you the hell out of here to God knows where. Okay? So what are you going to be able to take? A suitcase? Right?
Right.
And they're like, by the way, don't worry, we'll compensate you your rent.
Right.
But you don't have a choice.
Right.
How would you feel?
Horrendous. I would stand up. I'm not allowing that.
You've got elderly people.
Yeah.
You've got your grandma with you, or your mother, or your father. You maybe have a pet. I don't know. Probably.
No, absolutely not.
You can't.
It's unacceptable.
Yeah. Now you have to move. And by the way, your apartment is going to be used as a quarantine facility.
Absolutely not. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You cue the, see, look at how selfish Americans are.
Yeah.
No one feels like this. The human trait is to not give up your home.
Yeah. What we have here is the actual text from people living in the building and what they put out there, okay, in Chinese. And what they're saying is like, what the hell is going on here? We're going to be forcefully removed. We don't have a choice. This isn't legal. No one consulted with us. We didn't come to an agreement, anything like this, right?
Yeah.
And so the people are like, screw this. So they speak to the building management. They try to figure things out. They try to negotiate what's going on here. Is this legal? Can you just take us out of here? And not only them, the people in the buildings around the ones that were going to be turned into a quarantine facility are like, dude, that building is literally 10 feet away or 10 meters. Like, it's really close. I can basically, I can touch it if I put my hand out my window. And you're going to fill it up with COVID positive people. You know, this is an airborne disease. You know, some of the buildings have got linked central air conditioning and stuff. What are you doing? We do not want this. Don't bring first of all, don't forcefully remove those people out of those buildings.
No.
Number one. No. Number two, don't make our building complex into a quarantine zone where you're going to put tons of COVID positive people.
Absolutely not.
Right?
Yeah.
Think about it. Imagine you've been under lockdown for 27 days and you've been sticking to the law and you're 100% like, listen, we just got to stick this out. It's going to be okay. We're going to be
keep
fine.
Your mouth shut.
Yeah,
we're going to get
just
through this.
Nobody's getting infected just yet. Like, just be careful. We got to say. And then they're like, we're going to bring the freaking city's COVID positive people and put them in the building right next to you.
And by the way, you're out.
Yeah. And by the way, those people are out. But the ones that stay, you get to stay.
Right next to them.
You get to stay literally.
Say goodbye to your neighbors, and then you'll be right next to the COVID.
Yeah, we're going to bring them in here now.
For this illness that we've said literally will kill everybody, and it's so important that we stop.
Remember that in China right now, people in Shanghai and so on, they're smart enough to know it's not going to kill you. But a lot of people believe that catching this disease is a death sentence.
Yes, because the Chinese government has said it's our number one priority. You're going to die like every other country.
Yeah. So what happened was like I said, they tried to negotiate with the building management and say like, look, this isn't legal. You can't kick us out. We've got our contract. It's all signed. We're paying... You know, and by the way, the cheapest apartment you can rent in that particular place is 8,000 RMB a month, about $1,000, $1,200, which is expensive. I know Shanghai is an expensive city.
Yeah, but it's China.
Okay,
it's but
it's expensive, and they go all the way up, and that's why these people are saying these are not those subsidized.
Oh yeah, but by the way, you can pay a lot more for apartments in Shanghai.
Oh, of course.
We're just talking about this specific.
I'm saying that's the cheapest one you can rent there.
Yeah.
Okay, and it goes all the way up to like whatever 30,000 or whatever. So that's why these people are saying that we are not subsidized.
No.
The actual tenants are like, we're not subsidized.
So that's the
other people are saying that they are.
We've seen the propagandists come after because you've been exposing this recently, and the people are corroborating your story in the district.
Yes,
but the propagandists for state media are challenging you and saying that's absolutely not true, and that they're just greedy.
They're greedy swindlers,
and they're throwing them under the bus.
Yeah,
and it's crazy to see this. Like, it's absolutely insane. It doesn't matter if you call them a swindler or not. The fact is, people are claiming that they're not even subsidized for these.
Yeah, and well, here's the crux of the matter. Okay, there's a saying in Chinese which is "qi ran pa ying," which means bully the soft and be afraid of the strong.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is what's happening because these guys are lower income. Yeah. You know, they're not at the top. They're not very rich or connected. The government's like, well, we need some more quarantine facilities. Just kick those people out of their house because they're weak. They're lower income. They're just
suck. Ying is exactly that. It's the embodiment of that.
Yeah, it is. Don't go after the more rich, connected people because they're going to kick up more of a fuss. It'll be more of a hassle. You know, they might actually cause trouble for us. Just go kick those lower income people out of there. We'll just deal with it, right? That's really what's going on here. So you have to understand, within 2 days, they had not resolved anything.
No.
People did not want to be kicked out of their homes and taken forcefully to some unknown place or some other place and leave all their worldly possessions behind because they can't move anything.
Right.
What they did was they were like, well, we're just going to try and protest. See, they're like...
madness.
They're basically like, no, don't... These are the police, by the way. Come to forcefully remove them. Over here.
Yeah.
So they're like, nope. Okay, fine. Now, there's something very important that you need to pay attention to here, okay? Is that you notice that the the protesters are not actually getting violent. They're just being violently dragged away.
Yeah. Oh no, they're quite peaceful.
Yeah, they're just shouting.
And I want you to remember that this isn't allowed in China. You're not allowed
Yeah.
to protest this kind of stuff. So this is the appropriate response to
Yeah.
any sort of unrest.
Yeah.
And you're only seeing this because it's in Shanghai again.
Yeah, only because it's in Shanghai. This kind of stuff's been happening all over China, but of course...
Forever.
Yeah, you don't get to see it. Now, another thing you need to pay attention to is how the protesters react. And that is by kowtowing and bowing down and pleading, because that's what happens in China. You can't stand up. All you can do is submit. You know?
Yeah.
She's shouting, "Jingcha Daren," you know,
They're hitting
the police
people.
are hitting people. You know? That's what that woman's screaming over there. I don't know what the hooting or the honking of the horns all about. You think that's the cops doing that?
Could be. Maybe just
Just to drown out
cause fear.
Yeah, no, maybe just so that people can't hear what's being said.
Yeah, I mean, that's also important. And before you think that's tinfoil hat stuff, they actually did that. They blared loud patriotic music to blank out what people were saying out their windows.
When they were
protesting
like
during lockdown.
Yeah. So you can see the police are very indiscriminate about who they take. Just anyone that's kind
I
of
mean,
like...
to be fair, they were told to do this.
Yeah,
You know,
of
from
course.
the top.
Remember that clip in the beginning about blaming the USA?
Yeah.
They're blaming this on the USA.
Yes,
It was
this-
part of this incident.
No joke.
Yeah.
They said this is the USA's fault.
This is the
geopolitical problem.
international, you know, yeah. People just don't want to be dragged out of their homes, forcefully removed, you know?
Again, the context here. You've been told you got to leave your house because we're going to put a bunch of sick people in here. We're going to send you off to these quarantine camps that everyone's freaking out about and dying in.
Yeah, or to another apartment. which you don't know what it is.
But you don't know. Because
No.
you've had them say everything's going to be fine, and then people send you pictures and videos of these quarantine camps.
Yeah.
Of course you're going to be scared.
Yeah, no one wants in
You
this...
don't know.
Yeah, of course. It's also part of the same thing.
Yeah.
By the way...
you got to pay attention to this scene. Oh, wait.
Chinese
ox. We caught him. He's here. He's actually in the protest.
You
Look
know
at
what-
him with his gold chain.
What is that? L.A.
Dogsers. It's like Dodgers, but not. It's like a counterfeit LA Dodgers. But it's like a fencing coat.
Yes.
What is-
It's literally
Chinese
some
ox,
kind of
Chinese ox.
pajamas. He's got his gold chain and everything.
I can't believe he's in the protest.
Yeah, I can't believe it either.
That's cool. But yeah, pay attention for another reason.
Yeah.
Chinese ox leading the protest, actually.
Yeah.
The Dogsers.
Yeah.
LA
the
Dogsers.
Yeah. They got doxing people. Now take a look what that woman is doing. Do you see what she's doing? What is she spraying?
At first I thought it was kind of like, can you pause it?
Yeah, let
Pause
me
it
go
on
back
there.
a little bit where you can see there's a woman spraying the police.
Yeah, with a spray bottle for you listeners. Do you know when you get pissed off at a cat and you spray it with a water bottle? I thought it was that. Like, that was her weak ass attempt at like fighting back.
No, she's working
no.
with them. You know what she's doing?
She's part of the cops.
She's disinfecting their shields because those
The
lowly
lowly
peasants
peasants.
touched the
They
shields.
smeared on it.
Yeah,
she was like,
dude,
that's
seriously.
not a joke. Like,
No.
you need to watch these kind of clips that get leaked because there's key moments like this.
Yeah.
She's part of the cops and she's disinfecting the riot shields.
She's disinfecting the riot shields.
Yes.
How absolutely absurd.
Play it again.
Yeah, let's get to this disinfect gate.
I want people to internalize this.
Okay, it starts here, eh? Somewhere?
She's not protesting.
No, she's not. She's part of them. Look, there we go. Protest those. Let's disinfect the riot shields quickly.
You know they're going to use that for internal propaganda as well.
Yeah, like, don't worry. We look
dirty
after you
peasants.
cops, you know.
Yeah.
We'll disinfect your shields. Anyway, here's another angle from what we saw earlier. Okay, now this is a different part of what we saw earlier, okay? Get us out of here again.
Don't touch my shield, you filth.
Yeah. See, they're just dragging people.
Yeah. Love the horns.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want people hearing what people are saying.
That's what it is. I'm guaranteed.
So, well, they've done it before. That's the only reason we can guess.
Yeah.
Thanks for your support. This has been fully demonetized.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, now I'd like you to pay attention down here to the old woman who's kowtowing. And you see this a lot whenever there's any kind of a protest in China, because there's nothing else you can do, like I said, other than to submit.
Yeah.
Okay, and
yeah.
it doesn't help, though, because she gets dragged off too,
Yeah,
by the way.
for sure. She's kowtowing,
She's
hoping
kowtowing.
that it's going to be like, oh, they're going to have pity on me.
Yeah.
Please, please don't take me away.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. It's crazy, eh?
Yeah, no, it's, anyway, so this continues a little more. But it's not over yet. We've got more to show you.
No, for sure. Just want to give some context for the listeners out there that are not watching.
So this is what's going to happen to you if you, in China, try to oppose anything the government says.
Yes.
Okay? By the way, you see the fencing that's up there? That's to block everyone off for the quarantine.
Yeah.
And they've just lowered it. You can see the fence has been lowered there.
Right.
In order to grab the protesters out of there, or to move them, because they're going to be forcefully moving them now.
That's right. You kind of quickly watch people succumb to their phones.
Yeah.
At first, people are. This is the psychological aspect kind of interests me, and it makes me feel really bad. Is that you first see people standing up, screaming, freaking out.
Yeah.
And then when they watch people get dragged off, they realize there's a sudden reality that sets in where it's like, I'm powerless. There's literally nothing I can do.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't want to get caught up in it.
No. And think about it. Anyone that's here that's putting up a fuss, there's cameras everywhere. They're getting documented. They could lose their jobs. Like, this is not good for them.
No.
They're not supposed to be doing this, right?
No. Another reason we want to show you the whole clips. But there's an elderly woman from the same thing that's been taken away.
Yeah.
You know, they don't care if you're an old woman or a young child or whatever the case may be. You go and you're going.
Yeah. And remember, if any of these people that are documenting this, they'll realize quickly, just like those billboards, this is illegal.
Yeah.
You can't be sharing this stuff online. It'll get blocked anyway, but...
All of these videos that you're seeing now were scrubbed.
Yes.
They have been scrubbed, by the way, and within 2 minutes of posting any of these videos, they get deleted off the Chinese internet. I'll show you proof of that later.
So people harvest them, obviously.
So that's why we're showing it to you in their entirety, is because people in China can't see these videos anymore. And we hope that people get a chance to see what the government is doing to them, their neighbors.
That is correct.
There's an old, that's that old woman over there. There's an old man over there.
Yeah. But if you watch any of the CCP shills, by the way, everything is okay. None of this is happening. These are just rumors.
Yeah,
These
or
are
it's just
rumors.
poor people and they deserve it.
Yeah, they deserve it because
Yeah.
they're poor.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of schemers and
Swindlers.
swindlers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you know, that's the thing. You always have to step back and say, it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. Nobody should be treated this way.
I thought you were about to sing Backstreet Boys.
No.
Okay.
Oh, let me get us out of here. You can see the communist flag on the, you know, the hammer and sickle. That's the enforcement
that
teams.
means they're party affiliated.
You know, that's another thing. They've brought the military in, right?
Yeah.
And it's for this reason. These guys with the police on their jacket, they could just be the military.
Yeah.
You don't know who's underneath those white. They call them Dabai, by the way.
Yeah, big whites.
Yeah, big whites. That's what they call these stormtroopers.
They did bring in
There's the
military from Suzhou,
Yeah,
from outside of Shanghai.
yeah, exactly.
Getting carted away.
She's shouting, you know, save us, and you know.
Begging.
So, okay. Now, when I posted some of these videos on Twitter, now this is important, pay attention to this. As soon as I posted some of these videos on Twitter, you know what I got? I got the tanky brigade, I got the Wumaos coming. You know what they do? Can you guess what they did? Rather than be this is atrocious what the Chinese government or the police are doing to the citizens of China, you know what they did?
What?
They said, oh yeah, what about USA? White cops shooting black people.
Right. As if that has anything to do with
Yeah.
this.
Or, oh yeah, what about USA? Someone shot some people in the subway in Brooklyn.
Right.
What the fuck does that have to do with this?
Absolutely nothing.
It's as if it doesn't matter. In the minds of the Chinese nationalists and these tankies, it doesn't matter how bad the Chinese government behaves. It doesn't matter what they do because America bad.
You know what that is?
What?
It starts with a P.
Pussy whataboutism?
No.
What? Oh, let me find where I put that. Where is there? Okay, I mean, the thing is, you can understand how much this whole whataboutism thing has permeated Chinese society. Okay?
Yeah.
Because not only is the first thing that happens, these guys go straight to, what about American cops shooting black people? Or what about a black person shooting, you know, black nationalists shooting people in a subway? Okay? What does that have to do? So it's impossible for two wrongs to exist at the same time? Is that what they're trying to say?
Yeah.
You know? All they're trying to do is deflect attention away because they know that this is awful.
I've said this before. It's like bad thing in China can't happen because bad thing in America exists. It's that logic. It's mathematically incorrect.
Especially as a non-American.
Yeah,
It pisses me off because they somehow, I'm putting out a video trying to show the plight of the people in Shanghai, what they're going through. Okay?
有什么关系?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything?
I care, as a non-American person, I care about the people in Shanghai right now, what's happening to them. What does some cop in America shooting a black person have to do with me or Shanghai?
It's actually, you know, you don't...
Or a black dude shooting a bunch of people in a subway.
Sure. Don't claim that these people that immediately responded to your stuff are completely non-affiliated. Don't think that they're just some rando like.
No, they are
there.
affiliated. I know exactly that they
Sure.
are. They're connected to the Chinese government.
Yes, and the Chinese government says, you know what? There's a bunch of this shit coming out
Yeah.
of these videos of these protests happening. What do we do immediately? We need to create apathy. You know how you create apathy is you pick on other problems that are completely unrelated because two wrongs equals I don't care. That's what apathy is. That's how apathy is created. You say, oh, you know what? There are these horrible things happening in Shanghai, but this dude just shot a bunch of people in Brooklyn, so yeah, they're both bad. And you just stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's like a psychological thing.
So now we're going to play this clip again for you because we want to show you just how much this, China can do whatever wrongs it wants because America thing, how much that permeates Chinese society. It permeates it so much that we get this as a result.
你唯一的就是保持冷静，跟你说，这不是我们警察造成，这个整个 国际形势造成的。
我刚刚很
你们
冷静。
再这样闹下去，我们中国没希望了。
我们没有
要跟美国打仗了，你知道吧？你们还是这样子。
我们没有闹。
对呀、
我们
没希望，没办法的，我们也没办法的。现在只有共产党能救中国了。
So it's permeated it so much, and you can understand where these nationalists and these tankies get this from. Is that every problem in China is America's fault?
Correct.
Every single thing that the Chinese government has done wrong, or every ill that befalls the Chinese people, is America's fault. Even the police forcefully dragging people away from their homes to turn their house, their apartment into a quarantine camp is America's fault.
Yeah.
And the international community's fault.
You know that meme where the guy's riding a bicycle and he puts his own stick in his own wheel and it says, "Oh, America."
Yeah, exactly.
That's what
what it is. So not only is the government and the police telling the people that it's America's fault for what they do that's bad, but now the tankies and the Wu Mao, they've been doing it forever, are doing the same.
Yeah.
So you post people suffering in Shanghai, they're like, "Oh yeah, a black dude killed a bunch of people on a subway."
They always have to bring race into it as well.
Yeah.
That's very important to them, apparently.
It's not anyone's fault that a black guy killed a bunch of people in the subway.
No.
Okay?
No.
I don't know what that has to do with Chinese cops,
Taking
beating on
people
Chinese
out of their
people and
homes,
forcefully
starving
removing
them
them.
and putting them in camps.
I know.
What does that have to do with the Uyghur genocide? What does that have to do with anything?
What does a black supremacist have to do with the Chinese police?
Absolutely nothing.
Well, according to tankies, everything. If they cancel each other out somehow.
Correct.